Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Yes, so I've finally decided to get this thing off the ground. The second piece to the Kerbin Tanker been a little bit of problematic. I really don't understand what's going on with this thing. The weirdest thing that honestly keeps happening to me with these huge launches like this is, well, there's two things. Two really intensely just weird things. Number one, every time I launch after I do, like if I do a relaunch of this craft, the fuel system will not work correctly. As in, you see all these transfer lines where I'm trying to get the fuel from the upper stage to the lower stages so I can empty out these tanks on takeoff. Yeah, so when I do my first test launch, and then I go to just reload craft, basically, or whatever it's called, revert to launch pad, the way that the fuel gets extracted from these tanks, like it will do one tank, and then this tank, and then this tank, whereas I need it to be even like this in order for the rocket to actually remain stable in flight. Don't really understand why it's doing that, but there's really not much I can do about it, but whatever. And then the other thing that just keeps happening to me too, it's like the weirdest thing. I'll do, like, once again, from the VAB to the launch pad, and this is the test. This is the weirdest thing, because it's like always the test. I'll test out my craft to see if it works, and see if I can take off with it and everything else, and it will make it off the launch pad. It will make it all the way, practically, I basically get it all the way almost to space, where I'll get up to maybe, 60 or 70 kilometers high or so, and then I'm like, okay, well, this thing looks like it's gonna work. No point in doing any further testing. No real problems, obviously, whatever, I'm done. And then when I go to shoot my episode, like this one, I'll do basically the exact same thing. I'll go from the VAB to the launch pad, because for some reason the game likes doing it that way and not any other way. And if you do it any other way, it gets angry and then destroys your craft. Yeah, so I'll do that, and pieces just randomly fall apart. And this is one successful launch of it, even though I haven't changed anything as far as how this craft actually works or anything. So it just usually is the weirdest thing. Okay, those got taken off. Just making sure my staging is correct here. Yeah, it's good. I'll just go back up a little bit here. We need to get a little bit more height, because our periapsis, I think, or no, apoapsis is a little low, and I don't like that. We don't even have a periapsis right now. Yeah. But, so, yeah, I've had a little bit of fun. I did the little test craft thing. Haven't uploaded it yet. I shot that video just before this one. I usually shoot, like, 2 or 3 videos at a time, so give me a break, guys. Yeah, I'm really just hoping that I get somewhat good feedback. And once again, I'm not stating that I'm okay with the fact that someone else does that, and that if I do it, I'm not trying to copy them. I'm just basically stating whether or not you guys really want me to do that, because I don't like the idea of it, and I don't want to have to deal with possible repercussions or anything like that. I really just try to avoid anything like that in general. I just don't want to have, I don't want any tarnish on my name, if you want to call it that. I don't want anybody to think anything about me that's, possibly negative in any kind of way, even though that's not entirely possible with, internet and all that good stuff. But, that's just kind of the basic idea of what I'm trying to get across to you guys, that I really just don't want to do anything that would really just kind of piss off other people. That's basically all I'm trying to say. But basically anything you do on the internet basically pisses off somebody else. So it's kind of like a rocky road no matter what way you take. But I mean, even with my videos that I've shot in, like my really old ones, I still get comments on them every now and again, and it's always something that's like either it's somewhat constructive or it's like incredibly negative. And my keyboard is acting funny. Again, once again, wireless keyboards, you gotta love them. So we almost got an orbit here, and we're gonna dock this thing up here this episode as well. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, once again, my old videos, I get comments on them every now and again, and it's always something that's like either incredibly negative or somebody's like, how'd you do that? And, you know, it's either one or the other always. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say that I'm gonna make the best videos or perfect videos, nor am I really going to sit around and explain everything, because I just, I really don't like having to lean over on the technical side of everything, and it's just that's not my premise. I like just playing the game. That's my thing. I'll explain stuff if somebody wants an answer, but I just like playing the game, guys. That's just my thing. Stop it. There we go. So let's get this docking underway. We shouldn't be that far away. Let's see. I got RCS on. Probably burning away a lot of RCS by leaving it on anyways. We're looking good on fuel too. I mean, this looks like we're missing a lot, but I mean, basically we have a good portion of this stage, or we have all of this stage and some of that stage, which isn't bad, but the main problem that lies is I don't want to jettison the stage, but if I put it up here, it's going to be, it's going to screw up everything, basically. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. I might end up just getting rid of this whole stage here. That's the only logical way I can really figure this out. Which is the worst part, because I'm really trying to make sure I keep as much fuel as I can, and I'm basically going to have to say goodbye to almost a half. This is basically like a half an orange tank, and I'm probably not even going to use all of it, so it's a little bit of a shame, but whatever. I got to get rid of it after I do this burn anyways, because that it's just not going to really work out very well with docking. And let's see, we're a minute and 48 away. I should at least maneuver this thing around. Now, the one thing I'm really kind of concerned with as well is the fact that I got so many SAS units. Wow, what is this doing? Yeah, the one thing I'm really concerned about is I got so many SAS units, and I'm really afraid that having so many is kind of a bad thing. Come on, why isn't it flipping over? It just was preventing me from flipping it over completely. So, what are we looking at? 1 minute? We gotta start our burn here. We're getting pretty close as it is, so I don't want to end up missing our target. So, come on. Come on. These things are so hard to maneuver. Once I get rid of this main stage, everything will be, like, completely okay, but the stage right here is just so hard to control once you have it on here. It's, like, I always generally try to get rid of it because it just becomes more of a pain every time you have it on there, and you try not to get rid of it. Yeah, this thing is just firing RCS like crazy. I mean, we should have genuinely good control of this ship as it is, so I think I'm just going to stick with that. I'll rely on RCS for docking, and that's it. I'm not too concerned with fuel. Another thing I forgot to mention is the, what is it? The Kerbin Fuel Depot. Good news and bad news with that, as well as building it. You guys might have remembered when I launched my first tank, I actually kept the rocket engine basically on the tank and the service module. Like, basically, this piece right here, the exact same thing, on there. And there was a reason why I kept it on there, because there was like basically a whole tank left. It really wasn't used much for anything. So I decided that I was going to keep that, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring those over, and I'm going to use that to help refuel this thing, because yeah, there's going to be a lot of missions to refuel this thing. That's all I can say. So we're pretty well lined up. We're going to lose like a half tank. I mean, I could transfer that out, but it really is just going to be completely unstable if I do that. So we'll say goodbye. There we go. Yeah, just say goodbye. That's the best way I can describe it. All right. Now this thing wants to swing back a little bit too. I really don't understand that either. I'm just gonna push that away. I'm glad it didn't blow up. So we'll just push this back into the center a little bit here. There we go. Probably not a good idea, but whatever. We'll get real close. I don't know how close we are right now, but we're probably pretty close. That's all I can say. Where is our target? There it is. So I'm going to start pushing this towards the center here, and we should just start approaching our target ever so nicely. Now I'm really hoping I can do this on the light side, because I really hate docking on the dark side. Even if I have lights, even if I have like a million lights, I don't care. It's just annoying to me. The dark side docking is just a pain, no matter what way you look at it. I don't like the lights because of the fact that, number one, you're adding extra parts to your vehicle that really don't do anything. And the other thing is that with the lights themselves, it's either you get one that's super bright or one that's just completely useless as far as lighting anything. So either way, it really doesn't work out in your favor. Now I'm hoping I can get a pretty solid dock on this thing as well. I really don't know how well this is going to go, to be honest, but I'm going to try. That's all I can say. And we are freaking close to this thing. A little too close for my liking, but we pulled up like almost at a perfect spot. So just flip this over. Let's see. I'm gonna just kind of cancel out the rest of this first. I don't like that extra speed. There we go. Even if we're moving away, good stuff. Now, docking 5 is a little bit of a pain. That's all I can say. For those of you who are looking to build a ship like similar, docking up 5 docking ports is annoying, like beyond annoying. It works sometimes. I'm not gonna say all the time, because there's a good portion of the times where you think everything's good, but you're not in any way. So let's see, just bring this over a little bit. I'm trying to just line things up a little bit before we get close, and that's just all I'm trying to do. I don't like controlling this thing without using the chase cam as well. I think it's kind of annoying. I don't know what this stuff is. Debris? From what? So, let's see. Gotta go down, or no, not that way. I'm going to turn on the chase cam. There we go. That's what I forgot to do. So, let's just line this up a little bit again. I don't know if we're moving closer to our target or away. Let's see. Alright, we need to go this way. Now, I didn't put like a huge amount of docking ports on, or I mean, the RCS ports on here, just because I don't really want to have like insane amount of control with the RCS. I just really don't. There's a lot of things that really sound like a good idea when you're constructing these kinds of things, but once you actually put them into practice, you're like, why would I ever do that? That was such a bad idea. And I try to keep as much symmetry involved with these docking ports as I or I mean, wow, I keep on saying docking ports, the RCS controls as I possibly could. It really, you know, it really kind of just falls back on what you get lucky with. So that's all I can say. Whoa, this thing is a little too controllable. So I'll bring this. I'm just trying to line things up a little bit. I don't know how well this is going to work out, but we'll try. So switch back and set this as our target. And see, this is the part where it gets to the point where you want to pull your hair out, because of the fact that these docking ports, just docking stuff in this game in general, sometimes just never works out the way you want it. And lining things up, these docking ports, whenever you do stuff like this, it always has to be almost, like, it has to be like 95% perfect, otherwise it won't happen the way you want it to. And you gotta constantly reset and reset and reset before things just really do fall into the way you want them to be. You know, it was a shame with this launching platform too, because all I could get was the fuel out of it, basically. So, gotta go down, 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 down. And it looks like everything is pretty well lined up, but I'm still skeptical right now. And you also don't want to impact... You don't want to be moving too fast, you know, once again, because these two parts are massive. And the docking ports don't really have that great of a pull on them. The big ones don't. So that's one thing you always got to look out for. So we might have like somewhat of a perfect dock, but I always see it. Yeah, that was a pretty good dock, but now you always got to check your docking ports afterwards to see if everything is all right. I'm going to turn off the SAS just for now, just so nothing moves. I don't trust it. So you got to check to see if all of these are actually docked up, and if they're solid docks as well. You know, just make sure everything's as good as it possibly can get. Because, like, basically, once you're done with this, like, once you set everything up and you pull away, there's really no way of just, like, going back and saying, oh, well, I screwed up, I'm going to try to fix this. Doesn't happen that way. Usually doesn't. You know, there's a little, with the new docking ports and with a lot of new stuff added, there's always, like, a little bit of an openness to this game now where you can kind of change things and go back and fix things, and but a lot of times you just don't get that lucky with this game. It's like once it's set up, that's it. You're done. So let's... Can I get a fuel transfer? Can I get a fuel transfer? It seems like my keyboard, once again, is trying to have some fun. There we go. But, yeah, setting this up overall didn't seem like it was that bad. I really kind of expected it to be a lot worse than it actually was. So, we're getting as much fuel as we can. RCS, everything, just, it's worth taking. It seems stupid, but it's always worth just taking as much as you can. Why waste it? That's all. That's the moral of the story. Why waste it if you need it? So you can see we are really just, there's an insane amount, yeah. But like, we need a lot of fuel. So we'll get rid of this. Don't need that anymore. And this is our second part of the ship. And you can just see how controllable it is as well. It's actually kind of scary. Now, I don't know if it's got the wobblies or anything like that, or if it's going to do any crazy stuff. We'll see about that later, but I think these docking ports are a little bit stronger, so that should help us out later. And it's overall a pretty solid craft as well. I mean, the design of it, the execution, everything I've done as far as trying to make this thing as solid as it possibly can be, even though it's all separate pieces. So... I mean, the docking ports seem like they're pretty spot on. Just checking everything. But yeah, I hope you guys are liking this stuff. definitely been having fun with this. I'm pretty sure this thing looks pretty cool now on the dark side. So let's try to line this up a little bit. There we go. So let's get it over on the dark side. I don't really know what it's going to look like, but hopefully good things. That's all I can say. It looks like, just to me, this, I built one before, and it almost reminds me of like a fuel can in EVE Online, which I used to play up until I think about a year ago. But this thing is really weird when it comes to, I'm noticing this now, as it's really weird when it comes to controlling it. I don't know what... I think it just has to do with the mass of the ship itself. I really don't know. But anyways, guys, I'll do a little in-vehicle view. You can't really see anything. But, yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. To all you new people, welcome. And, yeah. Oh yeah, if you like what you see here, subscribe, definitely. And yeah, I will see you next time.